denies it away from the hands of Beloyski or Luke. But take a look at the response here. Masha. We expected a Masha second phase. But you know what, Geek fam? Let's pick it up quickly with their help of the Fredrin and the Novaria to close it out.
What are Evos trying to trade here? Because Masha is a very strong pick for Geek fam. The way Luke plays this is so immaculate, especially when you have a Loya, that mobility that could just enable you to re-engage, disengage. What are Evos trying to achieve? Considering that they gave Geek fam 2 strong picks.
So the idea for Evos right now, the fact that they're taking away the Ruby from Luke and then Beloyski, and then they pick up the Novaria themselves, it's control. Not necessarily crowd control, but controlling the map, controlling the tempos and team fighting. In MPL Philippines, we call Ruby as one of the tempo breakers for team fights. A quick don't run Wolf King. A quick use of the ultimate, if not for engaging, for disrupting opposing team fights, is really great up against Geek fam. But I don't like how Evos gave up that Masha. I feel like that might be coming back to haunt them later in this game.
I also hate the fact that they picked Novaria into that Masha, right? The Roger's already a problem because you won't usually go for the Win of Nature on the Roger. The duration is cut short on that, and especially now the Novaria. So 2 good targets that the Masha could just look for, especially with that diversion, giving him so many more angles to flank, to find these insane assassination attempts.
Yeah, that Loya and Masha, you're going to be sending a nuke. That's a one-man nuke later on. And if that's Luke, that's a nuke Luke.
They banned out the Kanja from Evos. I'm wondering, how do they deal with this Masha and its, you know, proficiency to just roam around the map, get those one-shot kills, especially when you have a Novaria in the backline. Sure, it does have that mobility, but the Masha will just ram down this Novaria. How do they deal with this Masha?
Okay, they're gonna need another frontliner with a great sense of control. The Ruby can't be the only frontline here, and then they're gonna have to do that thing where they juggle. That's a frontliner right there. That might not be the peeler, so I'm guessing the Baksha might be a little bit more of the frontliner, while the Ruby staying in the middle of the formation, using the Don't Run Wolf King and the I'm Offended as well, just to throw the Masha off her game.
I think now there are 2 ways to really take it for Evo's glory. They can double down on that front-to-back composition that they have with the Novaria and the Roger. They already have pretty good peel, good catch on the Baksha as well, good clear speed. But if they want to double down, then go for even more defense, like a Terizla. You can use the penalty zone defensively, stop a lot of the momentum that Geek fam can utilize in these team fights. But another way is fight fire with fire. Go Yuzong, go and dive the back line before they can dive yours.
Geek fam, I feel like they're enjoying this drafting phase. They have strong heroes, especially favoring their own.
The Bigatron way.
But they have picked up the Esmeralda. What is Evos trying to achieve with this Esmeralda?
Right, I'm trying to look at, is it the shielding? Because it seems like partly it's just going to get exploded. There's a lot of shields that you can steal, but it's not the control that I'm looking for right now. It might be difficult to take down, but I wish they picked up more crowd control. So I'm kind of scratching my head because now up against the Edith, up against a lineup that has a Ruby, Geek fam should be very happy right now.
I have to agree with that. You know, Geek fam, I think, are very, very happy with their composition right now. And, you know, fun fact, we were talking about the 2 XP laners early on in the pre-match, but in the banning phase, it was both the roamers who got most of the attention. Beloyski got 4 bans towards him, and Mr. Dreams, Tigreal Minotaur, the Angela, 3 bans to Dreams.
Who will hold hands with the Sky Kings? The Velodrome will be the witness. Will it be Evos, or will it be the Villains Geek fam? All here in the first game of the lower bracket final. Geek fam against Evos Esports.
The Land of Dawn, we go.
Welcome to Mobile
Who will strike first in this best of 5? Again, let's see here. Spell check. Is it standard?
Wow, they're gonna start, especially same in the orange buff. Now, what are the rotation achievements coming from both junglers, Mirko?
Both are going to go for an opposite path. Annabelle towards the bottom lane, trying to play perhaps for that strong side in Brents in this winning matchup against the Claude. And while I take a look at the emblems, I want to take a look at the battle spells as well that you mentioned. Lethal Ignition is still very standard for Luke on this Masha. Wants to deal as much damage as he possibly can, and it's that glass cannon build that we've come accustomed to now for that Masha on the hands of Luke. Chidera, though, very interesting Master Assassin for this Claude in the weak matchup up against that Roger, who also has a Thrill and the Master Assassin. One thing, though, that we can talk a little bit about is Chidera going for that agility. So for Geek fam, maneuverability has got to be their #1 source of keys to victory. Is that it? I mean,
Yeah.
oh,
It is.
what?
What?
Out of nowhere, Annabelle with the rotation, but take a look at this. Geek family wants to punish Annabelle.
Annabelle.
2v1 Dreams with the cover as well, but the damage will not come through. Ray, Appraiser's Wrath will secure that kill. Ray now caught in a 2v1. Good
Pure fight.
cover by Mr. Greed there, and it will be Fluffy disengaging.
In a blink of an eye, 1-for-1 trade happened down top in the jungle, up top in the jungle. And that was a trade where Ray was able to get himself a kill. So did Annabelle. So both junglers now, we could say online, but Annabelle had to concede 1 death to his name.
And that was really good for Evo's Glory initially, right? They wanted to use this tempo with the winning matchups that they have. The Baksha that will clear faster than the Fredrin, the mid-control of the Navaria, and the Ruby, plus the Esmeralda that will be winning in the lane. But the fact that they lost 1 member as well, that's going to halt that early game from going all the way and building up to a big snowball for the side of Evos. Luckily, they got that level 4 advantage.
Let's see here again, Beloyski looking for a cover. Ray secures the turtle comfortably. Beloyski now looking for an escape route. I'm offended, connecting on towards Sue. Beloyski will fall. Now they're looking towards Ray. Ray has a dash, and that will be it. 1-for-1 a kill for a turtle.
Evos will scoot out from the war zone. Sure, Geek Fam was able to clench their fists and get that turtle. But what does it mean now for Geek Fam? How do they want to operate in the early stages of the game?
Well, all they need to do is weather the storm. It's kind of a scaling composition, Geek Fam. And it's kind of weird to say that when you have a Loyi, a Fredrin, and an Edith. But yeah, they're really waiting for the mid-game. Luke needs that BOD, needs that Malefic Roar. Onward.
Onward to Earth, Shatter Dreams into no man's land. Not even has time to pop that flicker. Oh, diversion play. Wow, Grands reads it.
That's the
Almost.
brilliance, right, of this composition for Geek Fam, because yes, they need to scale, but that doesn't mean they can just look to scale. They can also look for a snowball themselves. They have the right amount of pick-off with that Onward on this big Edith pick with the Primal Wrath as well. Stops a lot of the momentum from Evo's Glory. They kind of want Evos to dive on them. So if Evos can't get a substantial lead at the start of the game, Geek Fam will take control. But if Geek Fam get a substantial lead, they will deathball.
Scary.
The death ball is scary because they have a lot of heroes that could just enable their movements, especially in the lanes. You have a boy with the diversion plays. It's always going to be ready when you also have Luke on the standby. He's this independent XP laner that could also carry the game, and when he is online, gets his items, the power spikes, keeps on running, he will be the one trying to tame the White Tigers. And now Evos, how do they deal with this composition?
I think the way they do it is utilize these neutral objectives to create space to go for these pickoffs, and mainly they need to utilize these winning lanes. At this point, if Geek Fam have so much presence for the neutral objective, they might have to look for other ways to take advantage of the game. They can go towards the bottom lane. Brands is doing a very, very good job. Has the Master Assassin as well. Maybe look for a pick on Chidera, stop him from scaling, get that turret in the bottom lane, and then utilize the map control that you get.
I'm offended Flicker, connecting all towards one. Flicker's out though from a boy, Annabelle. He wants business taunted. Will disengage from Geek Fam in Evos Glory now. Perhaps looking for another angle. No, Geek Fam does not give that angle.
That was a great Astral Sphere to end that skirmish with. But it seems for now, Evo's Glory will be halted a bit from going for that neutral objective. And again, for Geek Fam, they are fine. They are happy with this. They want to try to wait for those big items. And Luke, he's on the way. One step closer to the BOD Malefic combination that will be his big power spike.
Turtle contest, of course, ongoing now. Evos, they have Fluffy up top, wanting to help them as well. So this could be a 50-50 now. Evos, of course, they want to try to contest this because they're down 1 objective. And Geek Fam looking to snowball with this advantage. Conceal play could mean something.
Yep, Geek Fam will take their time. Thunderclap towards Clockun. It will be enough to take him down. Ray, though, on the other side, takes the turtle. Good ground control, and that's another kill for a boy. 2 members for nothing. Nada. And to add to that, Luke is still going crazy towards the backside of Rans. Almost taken down.
Diversion.
1,000 gold lead. And that's another turtle, though, for Geek Fam.
That is the main fear of this Masha, is the fact that it can just run down and dive down bottom. It's insane.
It's ridiculous, right? You can use all the words for it. Chidera? Ooh, quick jukes.
Yemai, though, still there. Dreams not have space to somehow catch him.
Annabelle got his ankles broken right there. Chidera just ran around, and you can see that agility come to fruition. The mobility, one of the keys to victory for them, if they're able to just maneuver these little side steps away from Evos Glory's pick-off potential. They have an I'm Offended, easily dodge, Shield Unity as well. Meanwhile, let's go back to that Novaria pick, because I think me and Renmar, we said, yeah, we don't like the Novaria pick. This is a perfect game for the Masha. It's the Roger and a Novaria. And we are seeing it so early on. Luke only had the Heptases, yet he was able to take Clockun down like there was nothing.
Oh, uh-oh. Lockin, good night, baby. 3 on. My goodness. 3 members will take him down. Annabelle with the Shield Unity, perhaps looking for a trade. 3-for-3 in that purple buff pit. But no, Dreams flickers out of the way. That will not come through. Primal Wrap will try to trade Dreams down. He is green. He finds one, but Rams will fall on the other side as well.
The villains keep on their momentum. This is our place. This is hell, and it's starting to burn up for Evos Glory.
The heroes are not doing well, not in the first game at least, of this lower bracket final series. And momentum has been the name of the game in this playoffs of Season 13. Ray, with this steal on the Baxia, he's gotten what he wants. The Fredrin should be behind against the Baxia at the 7th minute of the game. This early phase belongs to Evos Glory, and that death ball isn't growing for them. It's growing for the Devils of the lower brackets.
Oh, the flanks, man, is so beautiful. I think we're gonna grab control. A boy, the Lexa Turtle, now Fluffy running for the hill, but the thunderclap will connect, and Luke claims the double.
Wow, it's just full-on brawls left and right, and it's gonna be Luke, of course, leading the charge with his very fists. Evos are just being run down.
It's ridiculous the way Geek fam have been able to utilize that very small early game lead, and now Luke has a BOD at the 8th minute. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a comparison up against Fnatic Onic yesterday. The first game on that Masha, when he was able to come back and get the player of the game 4-8. That was a very late BOD at the start of the game. He was getting outplayed by Lutpi. His snowball was being halted severely, and he got it at the 12th minute, 11th to 12th minute of the game. So the fact that he got a BOD at the 8th minute, you know what he likes to build after this first BOD. It's a Melfic Roar. But this game, he might just go double down on 2 BODs, straight up.
That's 2 ouches.
Two owies, massive owies.
A massive damage, of course. It's gonna be circulating in the hands of Geek fam. It's starting to bleed for the White Tigers. It's still in the 9th minute, so I feel like Evos needs something as an answer. But can they stem the bleeding? And look at them just corralling in the jungle of Evos.
Not enough damage, even Annabelle could not soak in the damage. Oh, tickle to the backside. Ray looking for a kill. Annabelle survives somehow with the Shield Unity. But now, with the flank from Fluffy, it actually somehow bought them time, distract them.
Look at the constant pressure coming in from Geek fam. Evos, they have to try to reclaim that control of the jungle to enable them to mobilize, especially when they want to prepare themselves for these little skirmishes. Now, of course, the question again, how do they stem this bleeding?
Oh man, I'm finding it difficult to find ways to stem this bleeding. It just feels like they're gonna bleed out eventually, you know? It feels inevitable with this death ball growing for Geek fam. Evos needed that early game badly, because if you can see from Brands' items as well, people back at home can't see, so I'll just let you know, Windtalker in an endless battle, he's forced to go for this Windtalker build and not the attack speed build, because he's up against so much mobility. He needs the extra mobility from the Windtalker. He needs the true damage in that endless battle, and perhaps he might go for a full defensive build with a Thunderbelt too. At this point, it makes sense. Geek fam have so much damage that Evos might have to just hold on and wait for a mistake. Clockun as well, man, he's severely underfarmed compared to a boy. It's a 1,000 gold lead in the mid lane. And that's a Lo Yi. Even if Lo Yi is behind, he usually is able to match up in damage to a Novaria in the mid game. Oh, with a boy having this 1,000 gold lead, bro. Anyone who walks up, all the frontliners, even from Evos, they're finding it so difficult. They're struggling real hard to itemize. They don't know what to build. Someone has an Athena shield, someone has a Dominance Ice, someone has a Radiant Armor, but they need to choose one. They don't have enough money at this point of the game.
Wow, now Lord, whoa, divergent play!
Again, on towards Dreams. Such a shame, and they want more. Annabelle now immobilized, looking for an escape route. Oh no! Ray is there to boink him down. That's 2 members out, 5v3. Things are not looking good for the White Tigers.
Annabelle ain't rolling. The only one rolling is the death ball of Geek Fam, Luke.
Oh, Luke the nuke. Shout out Raptar. Almost claims a body there. But now this just gives all the space for Geek Fam.
Is this time for Geek Fam to just run them down? Fluffy caught in trouble here.
Blitzkrieg.
Oh, what?
Fluffy, the damage.
What is that?
That damage. Luke the nuke.
What did I tell you, man? You have to choose one, and he chose an Oracle. He has a Dominance Ice, but what? Geek Fam don't care about it, man. They just go through it. On top of that, man, it's a Melfic Roar already for
Valoy. Oh my God, Valoyski with the engage, looking for an Annabelle. I'm offended onto receive, but the damage will not come through though. Valoyski will fall. That's a trade finally for Evos Glory.
1 kill as a consolation prize, but Geek Fam is just wreaking havoc left and right. Evos, is this time for them to throw in the towel? Or will they try to bank on a mistake from Geek Fam? Because we have seen the past few days where teams come back from a costly mistake, but then again, Geek Fam, in this stage of the game, they won't be able to make that happen.
It's really, really tough for Evos Glory. Like I said, right, at this point, the real best way to play this game is turtle in your base, maybe group is 5, look for a pickoff or look for
Drag it
Geek
out.
Fam yeah, drag it out as long as you can, but Geek Fam, they're known to utilize these death balls very, very well, especially with a composition like this, with a low yeet, they can send the Masha anywhere around the map. Seems like they were about to collide there as we get into this replay, but both teams disengaged. Let's talk a little bit about this play. I think for Geek Fam, especially now considering that in the 11th minute of the game, they're so ahead, it's okay for them to look for random brawls. As long as they still have that advantage with the Lord early in the bottom lane, they knew if they traded equally, they would still get a lot of value, more value than Evos Glory for sure. And at this point, it's all about how they freeze the waves, they stop Evos Glory from farming, stop Evos Glory from getting to those item power spikes, because it just seems like, even if...
Oh, Valoy. Valoyski. Awkward engage, but Panel Wrath will deal. Oh, good taunts! A boy is there, as well as Chidera. Ray finds the Mega, and that's, again, Evos Glory losing out on trades.
Again, they just run down towards Evos Glory, and this isn't the full power. They're able to just take it down. Diversion play.
Luke, send this guy towards Glockun. Oh my goodness! Luke finds the kill with the Thunderclap, and that extra damage is enough to take him down.
The Luke nuke! The nuke of Luke! The Thunder Luke, or whatever you want to call it! BBL! That's Big Boy Luke! We were talking about how creative you can be with the diversions. It was so weird to put a diversion there that was so readable that even Evos thought no one would take it. Oh, what?
Fluffy, he's living up to his name a little bit too seriously.
So fluffy. You can't even feel the shielding coming in from that Esmeralda. He's just being slaughtered. And now Evos, what do they hope for? Because Geek Fam feels like they're playing this game flawlessly. And now they're eyeing themselves another Lord.
It's so difficult again for Evos Glory. I think even saying it's difficult is an understatement here, because really all they can do is wait for a mistake. They can only wait in their base, maybe manage these waves in a way where Geek Fam cannot go for a 3-wave push. They're trying to do that right now with the mid lane, trying to hold it back, but in the end, they let it push. It's still going to be a super mini wave pushing back to Evos Glory though, so I think that has to be the homework that Geek Fam have to try to work out. How do they get these 3 waves to crash in at once? Or maybe just put that diversion down in the back, Luke goes in and all of them are just zoned away from that minion wave. And then you have the 3-wave push that you want to try to end this game. It's an 11.7k gold lead. That's a BOD, second BOD already being built, and he should be able to get it very, very soon. Even Chidera, he sold his boots already. 15 minutes, full items, 6 damage items. We don't count the Wind of Nature, it's defensive, but whatever, right? I mean, 6 items with a Windtalker. They want to go for the end.
The big evil is Baloyski, but the demon himself is Luke, at least in this game. 3-way push being made. The Lord taken down, but diversion play!
Oh, the flank again! Fluffy almost taken out by Chidera. Oh, calmly! Valoyski finds 3 men, but the follow-up damage is not really there. Valoyski needs to back away. Evos Glory stands with 5. Fluffy jumps again, looking for a kill. Brands will take their time here. All 3 base turrets taken out though.
Good hold. I don't know what they did, but they're able to just withstand the pressure from Geek Fam. Is this the window for Evos?
Again, the window is quite far away for Evos Glory. Brands is at full items, but still, we were talking about how Brands cannot go for the win in nature. He has a role. He has a great Dragon Spear right now. He has a lot of mobility on top of the Endless Battle and the Wind Talker. But really, if that Masha thunderclaps him, it's going to be tough. Same goes for Clockun. I think at this point, yeah, I'm looking back, he has a winner Truncheon. That is the way to try to beat this Masha. When Luke tries to go in with a thunderclap, you winner Truncheon. You try to wait for the other members in your team to melt him down and to force him back. But even then, Luke, he's willing to sacrifice himself as long as he gets that Novaria. So for Evos, it's back to waiting for a mistake. But that mistake will be even harder for Geek Fam to pull off. Like, Geek Fam making a mistake here with 3 base turrets, with a 12.6k gold lead, and with this composition. So much creativity even with inside the enemy base. This diversion can come through all angles. It can come through outside of the map to teleport them back in. So it's all about them now waiting for these slow pushes to be crashing down in their base, and then they'll just farm it up, right? But in the end, it's still just them waiting in the base. They have to turtle in. Maybe make a big gamble. Try to go for a Lord, because if you continue to stay this way, I think it might just be game 1 for Geek.
This diversion in and of itself is a huge, constant, looming threat for Evos Glory, having to seek out all of the things happening, and now they're more brave to come out of their shell, try to clear out the waves, gain control again of their jungle. But this Lord, it's just going to be relinquished towards Geek Fam, or will Annabelle try to contest this because he's hiding in the bush, and Luke looking for a play.
Towards Fluffy, who has immortality. Annabelle, though, oh my god! The damage will be enough. Luke finds it. 5v4, Beloyski flickers out of the way, and the Lord will be claimed by Ray. That is it. Evos Glory, yet again, needs to defend this one.
A trade, and no, it's not even a trade, because Annabelle was the one falling down. So Geek Fam again, just showing their evil side, winning in every department.
Force errors across the board, right, for Geek Fam when they have a 12.6k gold lead. They wait for the waves to push in. Evos deal with it. They try to force a fight, but Geek Fam want to fight. They have a 12,000 gold lead. They can utilize these leads in the fight, and now it might just be the final siege.
See, no base hurts. Flicker on towards the Browns. Still survives, but Dreams will lose his immortality. What the heck happened backside? Dreams, good night to Fluffy, Balls as well. Chidera will be the trade of the base. They're exposed. Now they are going for it. And Geek Fam, they managed to tame the White Tigers in game 1.
Evil strikes in the first game of the lower bracket final. They triumph, and it feels like the hero